Good morning. This is a short video for Deer Slayer, who's an aspiring football player, and he's going to be playing wide receiver. So I'm going to try and give him some tips to make him a better baller. Okay, I coached high school for about 25 years, different times, but I loved it. I truly loved it. I don't miss it now because I have a lot more free time to do a lot of things. So basically, I don't have anything scripted. I'm just going to go by some of the things I know and have been one to assist Deer Slayer with. So first thing you want to do when you're catching I don't have a football with me now, so just work with me, people. All right. You want to have your hands. You want your fingertips and your thumbs together. Make like a funnel. So when you're catching that ball, you always want your hands off your chest, off your face mask. You want your hands out in front of you. So you're going to feel, absorb, and tuck. So you're going to get fat with the football. Feel, absorb, and tuck. As soon as you're making contact with that ball, you're going to absorb it, and then you're going to tuck it. You're going to feel it, absorb it, and then you're going to tuck it. Okay, so a common mistake that a lot of ballers make is when they get tired, they're going to do this. They're going to put their hands up like this. It's basically flat. You're not in a funnel. Your fingertips are not touching, or your thumbs are not touching, and the ball's going to go right through, especially if you're hot and sweaty and tired. So learn your good habits now. Get your hands up here like this. All right, so I'm going to step away so you can see this a little bit better. Right here is my belly button. You want to have your hands in this formation. Even if you're right around the belly button line, it gets a little hairy. You might have to drop down a little bit, bend your knees to catch it. But anything below the belly button area, you're gonna reverse it. You're gonna come down here, fingertips together, hands off your crotch area, off your thighs. Get it out front so you can feel, absorb, and then tuck. All right, so those are some easy things for you to learn. I had a bunch of thoughts when I was on the way here to this little field. I wanted to get out on the main field here, but there's a youth football team preparing for the season, so I don't want to intrude in their space. But something you want to learn when you're on the line of scrimmage, if you're the X receiver, which means you're going to be the wide receiver that's on the line of scrimmage, pretend that phone and that camera is where the football would be. And whatever distance you are, whether you're to the field side or the boundary side, if you don't know what that means, look that up. That's a good term you're going to need to know. So if the ball is in the middle of the field, I'm on the right side, and I'm the receiver out here, you want your inside foot. You always want your inside foot on the line of scrimmage. Right there right there on the line, because all your patterns, all your routes are going to be based off a number of steps. So, as an example, I'm on the line of scrimmage here, and I'm going to do a quick slant, which means it's a one-step slant, and then I'm going to go at a 45-degree angle. So you're going to be in your stance. I'm going to back off just a little bit so you can see it in the picture here. All right, you're in your stance, you're coming off, you're taking that one step, you got forward body lean to get that defender to start backing up, thinking you're going to go deep. You're going to plant, and then you're going to do your route, a 45-degree angle. All right, so you're going to do the same thing on the other side. If the ball was to the right, we're right here. The inside foot is on the line of scrimmage. You're coming off the line, planting that one, you're taking that one step. This is for the quick slant, and then you're going to go on a 45-degree angle. So there is a regular, I'm not going to go through the whole entire route tree. I'm going to let you research that, Deer Slayer. If you're not familiar with the route tree, it's a good thing to learn right now at a young, early age. So I will tell you it's going to go like 0 through 9 is the numbering system for the route tree. So the lower the number, the shorter the route. As an example, the 9 route is a go route. Some people call it a go route. Some people call it a fly route, but you just hauling butt straight down the field. So look up the route tree, print it out, study it, learn it, talk to your coaches about it, see if they're using, they may have a different term for a route. But so now there is some other things I wanted to talk about. Let me hit pause for a second so I can regroup my thoughts. Okay, now I got my thoughts back together. Going to teach you a couple things here today. You may already know these, you may not. All right, when you're in your stance, if you do not know what press coverage means, that means the guy is going to be right in your face at the line of scrimmage. He's going to be trying to chuck you, get you off your route, get you flustered, and make you lose control of the situation. So what you want to do, if this camera, this tripod is the guy that's going to be pressing me at the line of scrimmage, which means man to man, then when you're in your stance, you want to have a little bit of forward body lean. Do not have, I'm going to back up so you can see. Do not have your hands down here. You want your hands in front of your body, right here. That way he's going to reach out and try and disrupt you, throw you off your route. You have your hands, you're ready for combat. You could swat his hands away, you could swat it down, you could swat it over. A good thing to try and learn and practice. It's not easy, but that's why you got to practice all the time. If you hit the guy right in the elbow, I don't have a second person here to demonstrate this, but if he's there, if you hit him on the elbow, watch what happens. Boom. When that happens, you hit that elbow, not the forearm, because you can get this type of action. Hit him on the elbow, and his whole hip and everything's going to pivot. So if you can swat that elbow in, he's going to have his back turned, then you can slip in right behind him, go on your stem of your route, whatever that may be. So and you got to have those good fundamentals when you're at the line of scrimmage, because if the guy's going to be pressing you, you need to be able to fight with your hands and then get back on the stem of your route. All right, so let's talk about a little bit, I don't know how well I've got new shoes that are not even broken in yet. I feel like I'm walking around with 2 cinder blocks. But we're going to talk about false stepping. I see a lot of kids, and a lot of kids do this. A lot of kids don't even realize they're doing this. But they'll be in their stance. I don't know how well you can see from there. They'll be in their stance, ready to get down the field. And then the first thing they're going to do, watch my back foot. They're going to go like this. Boom and boom. You do not want to do that. Picture, once you're in your stance, picture like a spike going right through your feet. You do not want to move them once you get in the perfect stance. So you just want to you want to fire off the line. You want to fire off the line. You do not, a lot of people will do this. They'll be in their stance real high, and then once they got the cadence to snap, you do not want to do this. Drop down and then take off. It's all wasted motion. Successful football is all about learning all the minor details and the minor steps. So that's very important to learn. And the best way to learn that is to have a camera set up and film yourself, whether your father, your brother, your uncle, mom, whatever, can film you, because that's how you're going to learn the best, is by filming some of your routines. So we're going to talk about another thing. This is a term called high pointing the football. All right, if you're running down the field, let's say the ball's a little bit behind you, and you don't want to turn around and make the basket. You don't want to do that. You want to go up with your hands, use your hands, high point it, because if that ball is underthrown just a little bit, then that defender if you're trying to basket catch it and he goes up and high points it with his hands, chances are he's going to take possession of the football. So you always want to go high point and catch it with your hands. Always catch with your hands. So do not try and catch in your chest or anything. That's not a good thing, unless you're falling down or something, crazy. That does happen in football. But high pointing the football is very important. So if you have a friend or somebody that can be throwing you the ball, practice leaving your feet going up with both hands. None of this OBJ stuff. That's nonsense. That's ruined more football players than it has helped. But what you can do is there's drills you can use your hand-eye coordination. So, for example, if you have your brother, friend, whatever it is, and they can stand behind you, throw you a high one, and you can be running. I'm going to do it like this. You can be running, and then you can go up, catch it like this. You can catch it with your palms like this. It's not really a basket catch, but if it's underthrown, you have to turn around and use your hands and go up and get it. So any kind of ball that's over your head and you got to chase up to get, you can feel. You're going to feel the contact. You're going to absorb it, and then you're going to tuck. All right, so you do not want to be stone hand. You don't want that ball to come down. You want that ball, as soon as it's making contact, it's going to be a continuous fluid motion. So you're going to catch it and tuck it. Catch it and tuck it. Okay, now let's talk about, they talk all the time about stats, yards after the catch, or what you can do after the catch. So if I've made the catch and I'm running down the field, there's two things you can do. You can, you don't want to lose possession of the football. If your ball is on the inside, then you have a higher chance of somebody coming in, a linebacker or a safety or something, popping that ball out. If you can switch it over gracefully and easily, have the ball on the outside, it's going to be harder for them to make contact with that ball. And if there is some type of contact where the ball gets dislodged, it's going to be closer to the sideline. So that's what I recommend. And if you're going to go into contact, you want to bring that ball up high and tight, high and tight, high and tight. All right, high and tight, high and tight. All right, so I know I'm forgetting a few things. I just want to do a short video for you today, dear Slayer. Definitely learn the route tree. Talk to your coaches. Make sure they agree with everything, all the terminology on the route tree, and learn the steps on your route tree. But like I said, there's a quick slant, which is, one step, and then you're cutting on a 45-degree angle. There's a regular slant, which is 3 steps. So you always want to be planting with your outside foot. That's your plant and pivot, plant and pivot, plant and stick. All right, so maybe I'll think of some more things. I'll do another follow-up video, but those are some of the things that you can do to improve your game. But most important thing is always make the funnel like this, fingers and thumbs together. You do not want to do this because the ball is just going to go right through. This, you're going to come out. Here's the other thing. I don't think I mentioned this, but when you're coming out of your break, that's where you're making your plant foot or whatever. You always want your hands. If you're planting, you always want your hands off your body, probably about a good foot at least. You want it there. You do not want them down here, and you do not want them up high. The reason for that is if you need to, you have to recover due to an errant pass, whether it's low or high. In this case, we're going to say, I'm going to use an example. If my hands were down here coming out of the break and it's a real high pass, my hands are going to have to travel a further distance up here, and it's going to take longer, and there's a greater chance that you're going to miss getting that reception. So it's a lot easier if you're on your plant, you're coming, and your hands are in front of you. If you need to go down, you can go down quickly. If you need to go up, you can. If you need to go up, you need to go down, you can do that. But it's a shorter distance, and it's all about timing and saving steps and gaining the advantage. All right, so when we're talking about the routes, you'll hear the term a lot, get back on your stem, get back on your stem. Let's say we were doing a 9 route, which is a fly pattern, or a go route, which means you're basically just running straight down the field. If you have that defender that's going to be pressing you or hitting you, whatever, pushing you off, you want to get back on that stem. You don't want to alter your route. If you're supposed to go straight down the field and you're pushed inside and you stay inside, and now you're 3 yards to the inside or whatever, your quarterback should be throwing to where it's supposed to be thrown, not to where you're going. So a lot of it's a timing thing, but get back on your route, get back on your stem. So those are some football tips for today. I'm going to try and follow up with some more for you, and hopefully you can get some footage. If you get some footage, I wouldn't mind taking a look at it if you're okay with that, and give you my ideas, thoughts, suggestions. Have a great day. Be a baller.